Hello, and welcome to Historical Humans Reads, where we take primary sources and bring them to your screen. I'm Colum Coleman, and today we are reading from The Invincible by Stanislaw Lem. First published in Polish in 1964, The Invincible was translated into German in 1967 and then from German to English in 1973. The Invincible is a hard science fiction rescue story that stands out as one of Lem's more action focused tales that still manages to retain his hallmark philosophical themes on the nature of humanity and technology. Lem was active during the de-Stalinization period and the Polish October era of Eastern European literature that spanned from 1956 to 1968. Today, we'll be reading the first pages of The Invincible. With that, let's begin. Before daybreak, the first two cross-country vehicles rolled down the ramp. The slopes of the dunes toward the sunny side were still black, lying in the shadow of nocturnal darkness. The force field opened up, letting the machines pass through, and closed once more with blue lights twinkling in the night. On the posterior running board of the third vehicle, directly beneath the tail end of the space cruiser, sat Rohan, wearing a spacesuit, but without his helmet and goggles, only with the small oxygen mask before his mouth. He clasped his knees with his hands, for this way it was easier to observe the jumping second hand of his watch. In the left breast pocket of his protective suit, he had stashed away 4 vials. In the right pocket, thin wafers of concentrated food, and the pockets of his knee protectors held small instruments: a radiation counter, a small magnetic watch, a compass, and a microphotogram map of the terrain, smaller than a postcard, which could be read only with a strong magnifying lens. Wound around his waist was a 6-ply roll of the finest nylon rope. All metal parts had been removed from his clothing. He could not feel the wire netting hidden in his hair unless he moved his scalp on purpose. Neither could he feel the current flowing through the net, but he was able to control the microsender sewn inside his collar by placing his finger on that spot. The small, hard cylinder kept ticking evenly, and he could feel it throb clearly when he touched it. There was a red streak in the eastern sky. A strong breeze had sprung up. The wind whipped the sandy crests of the dunes. The low-lying, jagged crater rims on the horizon seemed gradually to dissolve in a flood of red. Rohan lifted his head. There would be no two-way communication between him and the spaceship, since the sender would have given away his presence at once. However, inside his ear was a tiny receiver, no larger than a cherry stone. The Invincible could send him signals, at least for a while. Now words came from the receiver. It was almost as if he was hearing a voice inside his head. Rohan, this is Horpatch speaking. Our instruments on the ship's nose have noted increasing magnetic activity. The 2 vehicles are probably already under attack by the cloud. I am dispatching a probe. Rohan looked up into the brightening sky. He failed to see the start of the rocket, which suddenly rose vertically like a flare, leaving in its wake a thin, white streak of smoke, which fogged in the spaceship's nose. The teleprobe raced off with tremendous speed in a northeasterly direction. Minutes went by. By now, half the disk of the bloated old sun sat astride the crater wall. Small cloud is attacking the first car, said the voice inside Rohan's head. So far, the second vehicle is advancing undisturbed. The first car is approaching the rock gate. Attention! We have lost control over the first car. No visual contact. It's covered by the cloud. The second vehicle is approaching the turn near the 6th narrowing of the road. No attack yet. Oh, now it's got it too. We have lost control over the second car. They have surrounded it already. Rohan, your car will leave in 15 seconds. From now on, you're on your own. I'm activating the automatic starter. Good luck. Horpatch's voice was suddenly gone. In its stead came a mechanical clicking, ticking off the seconds. Rohan settled into a more comfortable position. planted his feet firmly on the running board, and slipped his arm through the elastic loop that had been fastened to the railing of the car. The light machine began to vibrate and drove off. This has been an excerpt from The Invincible on Historical Humans Reads. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear more excerpts from original texts, please subscribe to be notified of the next one. If there is a work you would like to hear, be sure to like the video and leave a comment listing it below. Thank you for listening.